Hey, everybody. Well, the Dow hit 30,000 today for the first time in history. And while it's definitely something to celebrate, I know there's a lot of people that are concerned about that, thinking, oh boy, now all we can do is go down from here. And I want you to know, if you're asking yourself, should I get out? Is this the time to get out and take profits? My answer is an emphatic no, absolutely not. I've been doing this for 35 years, and people, as the markets have hit new milestones like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, people have wanted to get out. One guy in particular, I remember, called me and said, I got to get out. It's 4,000. We're never going to see this thing go higher. That logic is just, there's no basis for that. When I started in 1985, the Dow was at 1,500. And I went to cocktail parties for the first time, as an advisor, and people were saying, oh, the market's too high, the market's too high. And all the way through my career, people have said the same thing over and over again. It's too high. And they're saying it today. It's too high. Folks, it's not too high. It's going to go higher. In fact, if you look at what the Dow has averaged, or the S&P 500, let's just look at the Dow. Going back over the recent years, it's averaged about 11%. If you extrapolate that forward 20 years, where the Dow now is at 30,000, you're going to be seeing the Dow at 184,000 in 20 years. In 30 years, at that rate of return, with dividends taken out, just on the capital growth, you're going to be seeing the Dow in 30 years at 450,000. Now, you might think, this guy's insane. What is he talking about? Folks, it's just math. People would have thought I was insane in 1985 when the Dow was at 1,500. If I had said, and I think in 2020, it's going to be at 30,000. They would have laughed me out of wherever I was. But that's what's happening. Now, I want you to understand something, just to give you some other perspective. We'll talk about the S&P 500 here. Since I started in 85 as an advisor, the S&P 500 is up 44 times. It's sitting right now 44 times higher than it was when I first started in 1985. Think about that. That's a massive number. And think about all the times people in that period of time have freaked out about market downturns, 10% declines, 20% declines. This year, there was a 35% decline because of the pandemic in March and April. And look at where we are now. We're hitting all-time highs again. So, there's nothing to be afraid of. And the S&P is not any big shakes. People think the S&P is the holy grail when it comes to investing. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's almost actually a very pathetic measurement, but that's the one everybody follows and treats as the holy grail. What do I mean by that? Well, just as I said, the Dow has gone up, or the S&P has gone up 44 times since 1985. If you focused your investing on large cap value stocks, that would have gone up 64 times since 1985. And if you focused on the highest profitability companies that are large cap, your money would have gone up 74 times. And just as another dimension, if you've been investing in small cap value stocks since 1985, you would be sitting with a gain of 98 times today versus just 35 years ago. So there's lots of ways, if you know what you're doing and you have a good guide, a good financial advisor, to outdo the S&P 500. The key, though, is your own behavior and your thinking, and getting away from worrying about catastrophizing things and being worried about what's going to happen in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, year. Who cares? The best thing you could have done is been Rip Van Winkle and gone to sleep for 25 or 30 years and woke up to gains of 44 to 98 times your initial capital. That's what's available to you if you just retool your thinking and forget about what's happening today, or what's going to happen with the Biden administration, or is Trump going to leave, or all that stuff is not important. What's really important is having money invested in the US economy and the global economy, and letting those capital markets do their thing over time, and trusting that you're going to get rewarded. Heck, if you only made 20 times your money in the next 35 years, wouldn't you be thrilled? Would you rather have it in the bank getting where it takes 20 years to make 1%? Folks, we got to be reasonable here. So if you have questions about your portfolio, give me a call. We'd love to talk to you. Also, I want to wish you a great Thanksgiving. Our team is very thankful this year for all of our wonderful clients, for our lives, for the many blessings we have, for vaccines that are coming out and letting us get back to our lives soon next year. And we sent out an email this morning, sharing our thankfulness to our clients. And you would not believe the amount of responses we got back with other people sharing what they're thankful for. There is a lot of pent-up thankfulness in this country and in the world today. People are really hopeful, looking forward to the future, and they are very grateful about what they have in life. Speaking of looking forward, you all know me, and you know that I'm loath to be making predictions about what's going to happen in the future. I think people that make predictions about the stock market are just charlatans and frauds. That said, I think that this year I can make an exception, because we're coming out of the steepest recession we've had since the Great Depression in the 1930s. I think that as we look forward into 2021, the second half, at the very least, we're going to be seeing many people with vaccines on board and being able to get back to their normal lives, throwing masks away. That's my hope. I may be too optimistic, but I think that's what's going to happen. And the second half of the year is going to be you're going to be seeing the economy in the US and globally unleashed. And people are going to there's so much money on the sidelines. The banks have so much money, they don't even know what to do. They don't even want it anymore. So the money is going to be looking for somewhere to go. And companies are so lean and mean right now, because they've had to adjust to the pandemic, that any future growth in sales and revenue is going to go right to their bottom line and make their stock more valuable. So I think we're going to see tremendous economic growth in the second half of the year. That's assuming everything stays the same and no meteors come out of the blue that we can't see right now and that we don't expect. So I would expect that the markets are going to be tremendous in the next year or two and three, because we've had a steep recession already. There's no reason to expect another recession when we just had the steepest one in almost 100 years. So there's every reason to be extremely optimistic about what we're looking forward to, and a great reason to have equities in your portfolio. So if you have questions about your portfolio, or the outlook in the future, or how you should be structured, or you have friends that are worried about it or getting bad advice, give us a call. We're happy to talk to people, and we're happy to help you figure out how you should be structured and how to think about your investing portfolio and your stance towards the future growth of the economy worldwide and in the US. Thank you. We appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care.